What's up, readers? Welcome back to Unread Book Summary. Thanks for being here no matter where you're watching or listening from. Smash that like button and hit subscribe so you never miss a summary. All right, today we are diving deep into a thriller that really messes with your head, The Housemaid.
Oh, absolutely. This book is all about playing with assumptions, especially domestic ones. It sets things up one way and then just pulls the rug out.
Exactly. Our goal isn't just, retelling the plot. We want to unpack how the author used deception, unreliable narration to keep you guessing the entire time.
Yeah, the whole structure is built on that. You start with this setup, the desperate maid, Millie, the seemingly spoiled rich wife, Nina, and the handsome husband, Andrew, who seems pretty compassionate.
But it's all designed to mislead you from page one. We really need to look at how the story is told, not just what happens, because it shows how easily we can, believe a really polished lie.
So true.
Okay, let's get into that initial setup. We meet Millie Calloway. She's really desperate, living in her old Nissan, needs cash badly.
And she's on parole, which is crucial. Her full name, Wilhelmina Calloway, that's tied to her past.
Right, and she lands this, amazing job interview, high pay, live-in housekeeper. But her resume, it's, let's just say doctored.
And she walks into this Winchester place.
Yeah.
And the contrast is just immediate. It's ultra-modern, super lavish, chandeliers, home theater, the whole 9 yards. Andrew Winchester seems like this mega successful guy.
It's like a gilded cage, literally. And Millie, she's instantly struck by Andrew. He seems charming.
Handsome, down to earth. But almost immediately, things feel off. You start seeing these little red flags that Millie picks up on.
Yeah, like Nina, the wife. She comes across as spoiled, rotten, super judgmental right away.
And the daughter, Cecilia. Millie finds her really unsettling, calls her a creepy Victorian ghost child. Adds to the weird vibe.
Definitely. And Millie's room really hammers home her place in this world, despite all the luxury downstairs.
She gets stuck in this small, dark, stuffy attic. Creaky stairs leading up to it. It's not just a room. It's like symbolic confinement.
And she finds scratch marks on the door later, right? And has that moment where it seems locked.
Yeah, a little bit of foreshadowing there. Serious foreshadowing. And the tension between the adults ramps up fast.
Because Andrew is positioned as the nice guy, the counterpoint to Nina's, erratic behavior. So Millie naturally feels drawn to him.
And Nina sees it, or at least that's how it looks. She gets jealous, starts asking pointed questions, like about Millie needing glasses or contacts when she doesn't wear any.
Planting that seed, Nina is the jealous, unstable one. She's the villain here.
And the book keeps reinforcing that idea, like showing Nina is actually a total slob, despite the perfect house.
Right. And she blames Millie for throwing away notes, but then Andrew calmly cleans it up.
Exactly. Making him look like the patient husband managing his difficult wife. We're totally being led to side with him.
It gets worse when it involves Cecilia. Millie almost gives her peanut butter.
And the kid freaks out, says she's super allergic. But wait, where did Millie find the peanut butter?
In the pantry. So either Nina bought it or left it out. It just makes Nina seem even more careless or, maybe malicious. Confusing, anyway.
It all feeds the unstable Nina narrative. Then you get this external warning sign, but again, you read it wrong.
You mean Enzo, the landscaper?
Yeah. He gives Millie this look, mouths something in Italian. Danger.
And Millie, and us the reader, we assume he means Nina, right? Watch out for the crazy wife.
Precisely. But then things shift a bit. Millie gets some outside info that seems to explain everything. It actually makes her feel sorry for Nina.
Oh, right. She hears from another parent that Nina was institutionalized.
Yeah, after apparently trying to drown Cecilia and attempting suicide. It's horrifying, but it makes Nina's mood seem like, okay, this is mental illness. She's a victim, not just a villain.
Which totally changes Millie's perspective. She feels empathy now.
And it perfectly sets the stage for what happens next. Andrew gets this news, supposedly devastating, that they can't have another kid.
And he uses that vulnerability.
Totally.
Yeah.
Uses it to justify taking Millie to a Broadway show instead of Nina, which leads to them spending the night together at the plaza. It feels like this moment of connection, escaping Nina's drama.
But it was all part of the plan, wasn't it? Nina wasn't just unstable, she was watching.
Oh, yeah. The reveal is brutal. At dinner, Nina just drops it, casually references Millie's past in front of Andrew.
I'm sure you never got food like this in prison, did you, Millie?
Oof. Andrew's stunned. Millie's humiliated. The secret's out.
And then Millie finds that Broadway playbill deliberately left in her attic room. Confirmation. Nina knew exactly where they were, what they did.
So Nina goes from victim to this, calculating mastermind, which makes you wonder how much of her instability was an act.
That's the huge pivot point. Just when you think you've figured it out, Nina's the secret villain, the whole narrative flips on its head.
And we find out the real monster.
Andrew. It wasn't Nina manipulating things from the background, not primarily. It was Andrew all along. He wasn't the victim of his wife's moods, he was the abuser. This is where it gets really dark. He locks Millie in the attic, the same attic that felt symbolic before. Now it's a literal prison.
And he doesn't just lock her in, he starts tormenting her, accusing her of messing things up he actually did, forcing her into these humiliating punishments.
Yeah, the details are awful. Making her balance those heavy textbooks on her stomach for hours, just to be allowed out.
And demanding strands of her hair, but they have to have the root attached. It's pure psychological torture, designed to break her down, control.
Things he'd clearly done to Nina before.
Absolutely. And the ultimate violation. He reveals there's a hidden camera in the attic. He's been watching her the whole time, watching her panic, suffer.
God, that's chilling. He wasn't just controlling the house, he was controlling reality itself, trying to make her think she was the crazy one.
But here's the difference between Millie and Nina. Nina knew about Millie's past, that manslaughter conviction.
Beating a guy with a paperweight, yeah. She has a breaking point and she can fight back violently.
And conveniently, there's pepper spray left in the attic. In a cleaning bucket.
Placed there by Nina.
Looks like it. Millie uses it on Andrew, turns the tables, locks him in the attic, and takes his phone.
And that's when the real plan clicks into place. Nina comes back. The real Nina.
And she confesses. She set the whole thing up. She hired Millie because of her violent past. She needed someone who would eventually snap under Andrew's abuse.
She needed a replacement victim who would fight back, someone who would maybe kill him.
Exactly. Nina orchestrated the environment, the messy house to trigger Andrew's control issues, the pepper spray in the attic, even a hidden key to the attic lock Andrew didn't know about.
Wow. She knew Andrew would eventually turn his sadism on Millie. And she knew Millie wouldn't just take it.
It's an incredibly complex, morally gray plan for escape. And it explains Enzo, too.
The landscaper. He wasn't just some random guy.
Nope. Nino confirms he was her ally. He had his own reasons, apparently. A rich guy like Andrew hurt someone close to him, his sister or lover, Antonia. So Enzo wasn't warning Millie about Nina.
He was warning her about Andrew, the real danger, trying to get her out before the trap fully closed.
Right. So let's talk consequences. Millie leaves Andrew locked up there, no water, just like he did to others, presumably.
And when Nina gets back, he's dead.
Yeah, but not just from dehydration. The description is brutal. He inflicted severe self-harm in his distress. Missing teeth, terrible bruising, especially, well, in personal areas. The psychological breakdown was total.
And the cover-up is another twist, the detective who investigates.
Detective Connors. Turns out his daughter, Kathleen, was Andrew's ex-fiancée, and Andrew traumatized her badly.
So Connors has a personal stake in this.
He helps Nina, rules the death, accidental dehydration, calls the attic itself a hazard. Justice gets served, but completely outside the system. It's personal, almost vigilante.
And it doesn't even stop there. The final twist at the funeral. Andrew's own mother, Evelyn.
You expect grief, maybe anger at Nina, but no. Evelyn confronts Nina and basically says she knew Andrew was abusive.
And she's glad Nina dealt with him. She says something like Nina stepped up and taught him a lesson.
And then reveals she used pliers on his baby teeth when he was a kid. It shows the abuse, the toxicity went way back. It ran in the family, just layer upon layer of darkness.
So in the end, Nina is free. She's taking Cecilia, who was her real daughter all along and who genuinely hated Andrew, and moving away.
Freedom bought at a very high, very calculated price.
And Millie, the housemaid, she's free too. Enzo says he'll look out for her, so there's maybe some kind of network there.
And we last see her interviewing for another high-end job, looking confident. She wasn't punished by the law, but she navigated this incredibly dangerous game set up by Nina.
It really makes you think about how the author used that crazy wife trope. Everyone assumes Nina's the problem.
Perfectly hiding the male abuser in plain sight. It forces you, the reader, to question your own biases. Who do you automatically believe in these situations?
So the takeaway for you listening, next time you read a story about things going wrong in a seemingly perfect house, look deeper. Don't just focus on who seems emotional or erratic.
Yeah, look at the power dynamics. Who actually holds the control? Who benefits from the chaos?
And maybe consider this final thought. Nina's plan was extreme, ethically murky, to say the least, but the book seems to ask, Could she ever have escaped Andrew through normal channels legally?
It suggests maybe not. Maybe sometimes escaping sophisticated abuse requires, well, equally sophisticated and morally complex methods. It's definitely something to chew on.
This concludes today's book summary. Thank you for joining us and for your continued support. Please subscribe to stay updated with our latest summaries, and we'll see you in the next video.